It's me again. I'm here to do some more comics. So let's have a look at what comics I'm going to do today. So over there on the shelf, I did that side of the shelf last week. And now I'm going to do all those ones on the shelf there. So yeah, we're cracking on. That'll be the end of two shelves all done by then. So let's see what's got inside them. Alright, let's see what we've got. Starting off with the big pile of comics first. Looks like some All-Star Comics. The Justice Society Returns. All-Star Comics #1. May 1999. #2. Some lovely covers there. I do like the look of the covers. Very clean looking. Good view of the... this is a bit weird though. Right, so I'm not sure that's what's going on. This is two All-Star Comics. It's a two-parter by the looks of it. I'm not sure because I don't really remember it, to be honest. But they look like they're based on the old school comics, because then we have #1, The Justice Society Returns All American Comics from also from May 1999. So I'm wondering if they were a kind of like a pre-launcher to a new Justice Society comic or something like that. Because then we have Sensation Comics with Wonder Woman and Hawk Girl. I'm assuming these are like a special like taster for a new series that was coming up, but based on the old original comics that these guys all appeared in. Smash Comics with Our Man and Doctor Midnight, the original versions of course, the classic Golden Age version. Adventure Comics with Starman and the Atom. Beautiful, beautiful covers these. I like these. They're very nice. I love that boldness of the title. You just don't see that. You just don't see covers like that, really. But yeah, I like it. It's kind of, I don't know, it just pops. It really pops off the cover. There's Mr. Terrific and the Flash. I can't remember Mr. Terrific's name. I'm sure I did a video the other day and I got Mr. Terrific's name wrong. Is it Terry Sloan, Mr. Terrific? I can't remember now. I can't remember the name of the new guy. Something, is it Tom Holt or something? No, I remember saying that it was something Holt. John Holt, I think it is. The new age Mr. Terrific. I can't remember now. I've just started watching the 4th season of The Arrow. Is it 4th or 5th season where they're picking up new characters? I can't remember, but it's got Mr. Terrific in it. Right, and finally we have Thrilling Comics with Hawkman and Wildcat. Okay, now we've got some more Justice Society type books. JSA Files, Secret Files and Origins. The Gathering of the New Justice Society of America. Tour the JSA headquarters. The heroic heritage of the original super team. Another JSA annual, I believe, #1. Our World's at War, Call to Arms from 2001, All Out War. I can't even remember the story though in that one, to be honest. I'm assuming it's an alien invasion. Then there's a bit of a weird one because we go from this 2001, we've got another, just a 1986 special, The Last Days of the Justice Society of America. That's an old one, quite an old one. But, and then another annual. So I'm assuming maybe this is amongst some JSA stuff and I just put some annuals in there basically, or some various Justice Society of America related stuff. But there you go, introducing Nemesis. Planet DC annual from 2000. It's another blinking series I don't recall at all. More JSA, Justice Society related stuff. Strange Adventures. Here we see Starman and the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, fighting some trans-dimensional Lovecraftian beast, all tongues and tentacles and teeth. That was alliterative, I like that. Tongues and tentacles and teeth. JSA Strange Adventures, #2. #3. #4. Don't recall these books at all. I must have just read them once and then put them on the shelf and not looked at them again since. These are from 2005, this particular set. I think this is a mini-series because I've only got 6 of these. Unless maybe I've not looked at the next ones in the pile. I think these are a mini-series. so he doesn't really recall. I don't really recall it, to be honest. But yeah, I'll have to give those another read sometime. We've got another JSA mini-series here, an 8-parter, JSA All-Stars. Cool covers again. Nice picture there of the team. I like the way it's got the team drawn in the current modern style at the front. Then behind them you've got like an old style looking picture from probably how they were when they were first came out in the, was it late 30s, 40s? Yeah, exactly the same on this one. You've got a Hawk girl at the front there. Obviously you can't see him as she's fighting, but it's mirroring exactly behind her Hawkman. He's punching Hitler probably. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on in that picture. Yeah, this is a beautiful set actually. I like this a lot. And we've got the modern Dr. Fate. I'm not sure who Dr. Fate is in this iteration of it. Is it still Kent Nelson, or is it Hector Hall now? It could well be Hector Hall, who was Hawkman's son, wasn't he? He became Dr. Fate at one point. And here we have another cool one showing the legacy of JSI All-Stars. You've got Starman at the back there, and at the front you have Stargirl. Because there is a modern Starman who is the son of the original Starman. He had his own comic for a while, didn't he? But he doesn't seem to be in the JSA in this one. I think Stargirl, was it Stars and Stripes? There was a team, and Stripey was her stepfather or something. Did have that Stars and Stripes, or a few of them, but it was one of those titles I wanted to get all of them, and I only managed to get half of them. And I was on my list for a while. I was trying to get hold of them, but I didn't manage to. I'll have to see if I can get those again. I think they're quite hard to get hold of now, though. Right, Owlman. That was another legacy hero, wasn't it? Because he left the powers to his son, the Owlman formula, whatever it was. I think it was a Miraclo pills or something like that it was called, wasn't it? I can't remember now. And then we have Dr. Midnight. We've talked about him in one of my previous videos. That must be the original Dr. Midnight. I can't remember his name now. Is it Charles McNider, the original Dr. Midnight? And then there was a woman, I think Beth Chappell, I'm not too sure if that was her name. She got killed by Eclipso. And then we have the modern day one. I know he's got like a Danish name. I think it's like Martins or something like that. Peter Martins or something. I'm not too sure. And here we go. We were just talking about a minute ago. We have Mr. Terrific, the original one there at the back. I think his name is Terry Sloan, and at the front, I think it's something Holt. I'm sure his name is something Holt. I keep thinking John Holt or Tom Holt or something like that, but I can't remember. It's bugging me now. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm sure his surname is Holt. I think he's either the second or the third most smartest man in the DC universe. I remember that's one of the things that they say about him. Right, and here we go. We've got a nice little group shot there. Modern contemporary art at the front. Mind you, this is 2004, so it's not. It's a few years ago now. And obviously at the back from decades ago, how they looked back in the past. Yeah, nice set of covers there. I don't remember any of these comics I've looked at so far today. I'll have to have a read through them again. Right, All Star Comics 80-page giant from September 99. And he said 29. No, this is before the millennium, isn't it? 1999, that's the one, 1999. I remember it well. He lies. And from a little bit earlier than that, Justice Society of America from 1992. First issue. I think this may have been just when they emerged from that dimension. I think the idea was after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where our worlds were combined into one, they were reputed, they were in another dimension fighting Wotan or something like that. I think his name was Wotan, I can't remember now. So they were stuck in another dimension fighting him, stopping him from coming to our dimension and conquering it. And this was just after they was able to escape from that dimension decades later, with being as young as they were when they went in, and I think with extended like lifespans, they were aging a lot slower than than try and sort of retcon the fact that they were still around in the days of in the modern days when they had been around originally during the war. The Ultra Humanite. Giant white gorilla. Is he actually meant to be a gorilla in this? Yeah, I think he's meant to be a gorilla, isn't he? But you don't see many white gorillas. So I maybe wonder if he was maybe an alien or something, but just looked gorilla-like. There you go. Looks like Wildcat's been brainwashed there. Kill them, my slave! Number 8. Got Jesse and Johnny Quick there. And who is that? Is that Tarantula, maybe? Can't really tell from that little one picture. Looks like they're fighting some strange society. And then we have Battle of Green Lanterns. Except Guy Gardner looks like he's wearing his... not just before his warrior phase, when he was using the yellow powering. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem for the original Green Lantern, because he didn't have any problem with the colour yellow, did he? His weakness was wood, if I believe. Things made out of wood. It's a funny old system. Right, The Last Hurrah. So this is 10. I believe that was all that came out of this series. From 93, and only cost 60p a comic. 60p a comic! That's $1.25 American, or $1.60 Canadian. That gives you an idea of how much the prices have gone up. I'm not even sure how much they cost nowadays, because I say I haven't actually bought any since 2013 for various financial reasons. Okay, some nice modern Justice Society. Well, not that modern actually. This is 1999 still, so it's a long time ago now. Actually, I can't believe how long ago it is now. That's nearly 20 years ago. It's 19 years ago. It's August 99. It's now August 2018. So that's literally 19 years ago this month. Wow. I can't believe it's that long ago. I was quite lucky with these. My work colleague at the time, I wasn't buying these books. My work colleague at the time's brother, he was buying books. And he was basically giving them away. He's like, yeah, I think he decided he didn't want these ones anymore, and he's got his brother to give them to me. And I was quite happy with that, I must say. But I did mess up a little bit, because he didn't give them to me in order. He gave me loads of dribs and drabs. So he gave me like half of these JSA books. And I thought, oh, right, okay, so I'll just go out and buy the other ones then, because I don't want to only have half the collection. And then so I bought the new books, the books to make up the gaps kind of thing, and then he sent me the other half. So then I ended up with like doubles, and it was like, oh, pants. Cool covers. That Black Canary in her costume that she was wearing for a while. It's not a bad costume, actually. She's kind of gone back to the original now, though, hasn't she? The old stockings. Fishnet stockings that a lot of people say are dated and shouldn't be worn anymore. But, you know, traditional. Looks like Wildcat's taking a bit of a beating there. That's Sandy, the original Sandman's sidekick. Is that the correct term to use? Apprentice? I don't know. But whatever happened, he's taken the wrong side of a gun. He's on the wrong side of a gun from the Cobra. There you go. So that was Nuclon, wasn't it? He was originally in the Infinity Inc. I think he changed his name to Atom Smasher, I believe. Extant. Wasn't Extant what Monarch became? Hawk, from Hawk and Dove, became Monarch and then became Extant, I believe. Like in that picture there, you got like two swords, a hawk emblem and a dove emblem. So I do recall Dove does come back at some point. I wonder if it's in this set of books. Probably is. Injustice be done. Can't remember that guy's name. He's an interesting character though. It's not like, I don't know, Johnny Tomorrow or something like that. It's got a weird name. Injustice Be Done Part 2. Flash looks like he's, I don't know, they look like other versions of him, but I'm guessing they're kind of, could be Shadow Warriors, like, what's that, is it Shadow Man, Shadow Master? There's a guy who controls shadows, but I can't remember his name now, but it could be something that he's dreamed up, he's created. There's the guy I was telling you about. Can't remember what his name is though, but he's taken off his mask, and it's like all kinds of weird chaos stuff goes on once he takes his mask off. Alright. I say once you've got the Spectre on your side, you should be fairly safe. I'm not sure which form of the Spectre that is. Is that Jim Corrigan still back in those days? 2001 these books have got to now. I can't remember if it was Corrigan still or whether it changed to Hal Jordan. Yeah, because Black Canary is a legacy hero as well, isn't she? Because her mother or grandmother was Black Canary back in the day as well. But you don't really see an awful lot about that original Black Canary, actually. She doesn't seem to, I can't remember if I've read an awful lot about her. She doesn't seem to pop up in JSA books. One of the few heroes that isn't still around by some magical means. The return of Hawkman. Hawkman kicks butt. There we are. Yeah, because Hawk Girl or Hawk Woman, whatever she was calling herself at that point, she was around, and then Hawkman was returned, and I think he's trying to rekindle their love that transpires through the various resurrections and reincarnations that they've gone through since Egyptian times. I think she doesn't remember him, so she rejects him in these books. And of course, in the comics, same thing happens. Hawkman's kind of portrayed, not in the comics, in the cartoon. Sorry, there was a cartoon, Justice League of America, where she has a relationship with Green Lantern John Stewart, and she doesn't recall Hawkman at all. When Hawkman comes up in that, I can't remember if it's Justice League Unlimited. I think it might be Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, when Hawkman pops up in that, it's kind of portrayed as being a bit of a nut job. Right, now this is, I mentioned this before in a previous video about how DC like to bring up heroes that books have stopped selling and killing them off. I think it was around about in this one where this Roulette character, she has like an arena where she uses mind-controlled superheroes to fight each other to the death, and they killed off a character from one of the books. I think it was a JSA related because it had the same name. Was it? Oh, I can't remember the name now though. Firebrand, yeah, because Firebrand was a Justice Society woman with fire powers, and then Firebrand came back and it was like a guy in armour, and he gets killed in one of these comics in Roulette's arena in about 2 seconds from a checkmate agent, which I thought was annoying, that you get killed by an anonymous checkmate agent. Yeah, well, he was a character that I'd read and quite enjoyed, so it's annoying when they kill characters off that you like in like within like 2 panels of a comic. It's a bit annoying actually. I've not charged my camera. I thought I had enough battery on it, but I must have done a bit of videoing before I went away to my brother's. Never mind. Named Best Comic of 2001 by Wizard. It was a pretty cool run, this JSA actually. Get a chance to read it, I suggest you do so, because it has got some really cool stories in this run. Something looks wrong there. I'm pretty sure their eyes don't normally do that. I suppose Firestorms possibly could do that sometimes when he's using his Firestorm powers, and Superman when he's using his heat vision may go like that. But Wonder Woman's eyes never flash like that, so something's going wrong here. Right, there's that Hawkman or Hawkwoman's helmet there, and whose hand is that inside the helmet? Dr. Fate, maybe? He's got blue with yellow trim, hasn't he? But why would he be ripping off Hawkman or Hawkwoman's helmet? I'm thinking Hawkwoman, actually. Well, I suppose I'll have to read it to find out. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a new Thunder in town. Johnny Thunder, the guy who had the magic lightning bolt. It was like a genie. Yeah, and this new guy, I think his name is Jakeem. I can't remember if his surname is Thunder as well. But he takes over the lightning bolt, which is cool. Sad, but you know, old men die, old women die, people die all the time. It's happens in comic books. I prefer it when they die of old age rather than getting killed in an arena fighting other heroes. But yeah, so Johnny Thunder died and was replaced by Jakeem Thunder. I'm not sure what's happening in the current run of books, whether their characters have been rewritten back in after, New World, whatever it's called nowadays, New Start, Respawn, I can't remember what it's called, the Reborn. There's a lot of strength on that page. Black Adam and Shazam seemingly teamed up against another menace. And there's enemies teaming up, and here we have two people who never met each other, I wouldn't have thought. I'm not sure when the original Mr. Terrific died, but I get a feeling it was before the new Mr. Terrific was born. I can't remember what happened to him, actually. But yeah, interesting. Why are they fighting each other? Ooh, we have to read the book to find out. And then we have JSA BC. Seem to have gone back in time. There's Metamorpho there. Maybe it's Metamorpho. But Metamorpho powers came from some kind of amulet that was found in an Egyptian tomb, wasn't it? So it could be a BC version of Metamorpho with the same powers, perhaps. Is that Vandal Savage there, wielding the Spec Scepter of some sort? I'm guessing the Scepter of Ra. Don't ask me why, but the Scepter of Ra sounds like it should be. It's quite bright, and Ra is the sun, isn't it? So, in the coils of Cobra, Princes of Darkness. It's Alan Scott with his son Obsidian. Can't remember what his real name is, or his alter ego name is in the comics when he's not in costume. There you go. Who's that in the back there? Oh, maybe it's Obsidian. Princes of Darkness. Could be Shadow. Is it Shadow Thief? That one I was trying to think of earlier. Who controls shadows? Princes of Darkness. So we've got Eclipso there, of course. Then we've got Obsidian and Dr. Fate. But who is that wielding the Dr. Fate's helmet there? Could that be Hector Hall? Could it be Vandal Savage somehow wielding it? Could it be Naboo, the original? Now look in this very next one. We have Fates Colliding. Dr. Fate on the right. I'm assuming the good version. Looks like Hector Hall because he's got white hair. I'm pretty sure that Hector Hall had white hair. Fighting the villainous Fate on the left. I'm not sure if it's Naboo's come back or I don't know. I'll have to read these again. They were good books. And here we have I think the Crimson Avengers, very, very old, real old, like late 30s hero. Might be one of the first actually. Kind of strange inkling that Crimson Avenger was one of the first superhero books. I'm not too sure now. Very old anyway. I remember that much, just for sure. Oh dear. Seem to be having a run-in with Wildcat. And there's a far more wholesome and happy looking picture there. Thanksgiving, I imagine. JSA and the JLA get together for a Thanksgiving dinner. Isn't that nice? And then we have Christmas. Wildcat is sitting on Santa Claus's lap, and there's a little girl waiting there to. She says, "Wow, Catwoman needs a shave." Yeah, it's very good. That tickled me. Black Hawkman Rain, or Black Rain Hawkman. Something's going on there. Got Black Adam in the middle there. I'm not too sure who the people at the front of the picture are. Black Rain Hawkman again. There seems to be a whole army of Hawkmen. So we've got the normal looking Hawkman there, these normal insignia. Then we've got these ones who've kind of like got Egyptian looking amulets around their necks. Atom Smasher. I got a feeling he went bad. I think he had a bit of a bad turn for a while. Not too sure. It rings a bell. JSA, D is for death. Is that per Degaton there? JSA RIP. He was a time travelling villain. Anatomy of a Murder. Who's been killed, I wonder? Mandrake is a good artist. Redemption Lost. I keep going to say Mr. Perfect, that's the wrestler, it's Mr. Terrific. But saying that though, in the Arrow season I'm watching at the moment, the Mr. Terrific from that claims that he's named after a wrestler called Mr. Terrific. Doesn't mention the old wartime superhero Mr. Terrific. Is that the second Sandman? Not the Sandman Mystery Theatre or the King of Dreams Morpheus Sandman, but the other Sandman who lived in dreams for a while and was kind of like a guardian of dreams. Yeah, I think that's 3 versions of Owlman there. Got the original Owlman, couldn't tell you what his name is. Then that's his son or grandson or something. And then there's a future Owlman who came back. Did I say Owlman or did I say Soundman? Owlman. I can't remember what I said now. I'm getting confused with my characters now. Identity Crisis tie-in. And Sue Dibney dies. It's a cool cover, looks like an Alice Ross cover maybe. It's got his kind of look to it. And this one as well. Actually, 68 and 69 can go side by side to create a pretty cool picture actually. Very nice. And then we got both Mr. Terrifics, Terrific Tales, and then we got a couple of Atoms here. Al Pratt was the name of the original Atom, wasn't it? And so is it Rothstein? Something Rothstein? I think it's supposed to be his son or grandson or something. But he can grow big as well as small. There's an hourglass, there's Degaton, so I'm assuming those pictures we were just seeing of the heroes of different eras coming together, it's got something to do with his shenanigans. Shazam. Day of Vengeance tie-in, I think that's when Spectre went mad, didn't he? Did he go mad, or was he trying to wipe out all magic from the universe or something? Which was going to create some kind of cosmic imbalance, and so they were trying to stop him from doing it. More cool covers. I think they're Alex Ross covers. They just look like it. I'm not normally very good at knowing art people though, so you don't quote me on this at all. But they have that kind of realistic, lifelike look that he puts into a lot of his stuff. I'm not sure about these ones. It could be though. Very good anyway. They're just like the posture of them. The way they're standing, it looks like they're ready to go into action. They're not like two-dimensional. You can see the muscles under the clothing. Flash looks like he's about to burst into action there. Our man looks like he's about to kick some butt. Lovely dark background with just like, yeah, very nice looking pictures, these ones. There's Joachim Thunder, I believe his name is. What was the magic word? I think it becomes so cool. I think so cool, he has to say, and then the Thunderbolt genie comes out. I think it's slightly different words to what the original Johnny Thunder had to say. I can't remember now. Yeah, stripy, stars and stripes. Yeah. Here we have Superman fighting the Gentleman Ghost in an Infinite Crisis crossover. I think we're coming up to the last little batch of JSA. We've got to 2006 now. Ghost Story. There's the Gentleman Ghost again. You can just make out his silhouette there. His spectral silhouette at the front of the other characters who are coming in to face him. 1 year later, it's jumped to 1 year later as well. Raising the Dead. There's Batman. Could that be? No, I'm not too sure what that is. I was thinking Dr. Fate for a minute, but he hasn't got a fin on top of his helmet, has he? God, I'm not too sure. Oh, it's intriguing. It's intriguing. More ghostly mayhem going on here. And I think this is the last book of the run. Final Fight. Number 87. It went for 87 issues, this one. There you go, on Joaquin Thunder's... Just need to Joaquin Phoenix then. Joaquin Thunder's shirt says "so cool," which is the magic word he used to... And I think at the front here... Oh, I think it's... Red Tornado, because before we had the Android Red Tornado, you had whirlwind powers. The Red Tornado was like a frumpy old woman with a rolling pin or something. She had a bucket on her head, and she used to. It was a bit of a comic-y kind of character from the old. I don't know. It must have been in the 40s, I imagine, when she first came out. I'll have to look that up and put it in the blog if I remember. I'm pretty sure it's Red Tornado. Her name is. Right, we've got a new comic run here, but sticking with the JSA. This is JSA Classified. I'm pretty sure in my last video we had JLA Classified, which was a bunch of stories of Justice League, but I think they zip from story to story, like throughout the timeline for different characters. I get the feeling this JSA Classified is in a similar vein. So we'll go through it and we'll probably find like a few issues focus on maybe Power Girl, like we see here, fighting the Legion of Superheroes in the future, I imagine, unless they've come back to the past. And here she's having a chat with Huntress. Looks like she's getting confused about what's going on. So, is this a Villains United thing or an OMAC thing? They got so much on their plate, she's not too sure who she's supposed to be fighting now. And in this one, it looks like she's fought the Psycho Pirate, and yeah, he's definitely come off the worst, I would say, in that little altercation. Right, and then issue 5 features the Injustice Society. So it was like the JLA Classified that I looked at last week. It looked like there was 4 story runs, like 4 issue runs, little story in each one of them. I'm assuming it's carried on in that vein here. Nice team picture there. Flash and Wildcat. Flash and Wildcat again, but this time they're fighting each other. The Fall and Rise of Vandal Savage, featuring Green Lantern. That's probably Randall Savage. I hope that's not Green Lantern's head that he's swinging around there. I wouldn't have thought so. I don't see Vandal Savage getting the better of the Green Lantern. Well, mind you, that Green Lantern was had a weakness against wood, didn't he? So maybe he whacked him over the head with a twig and, yeah, no, but I don't think so, though. And this has gone to the 1 year later again now. There's Vandal Savage again, featuring Green Lantern. And I think then we had a change of story. Wildcat, Stargirl, Vixen there. Is that Gypsy there on the bottom right? Detroit Shuffle. So that's the JLA thing. They was in Detroit with Gypsy and Vixen, weren't they? Maybe it's a little bit of a team up between JLA and JSA. What's that? Wildcat's beating up Green Lantern and Flash. Vixen's gone feral, maybe. A game of chance. I'm getting the feeling this is that blinking roulette again with her arena of death. Getting the feeling. Oh, but let's change the story arc now. We've got Bane Damage featuring Hourman. Looking like two different Hourmen in this one. Time Bomb. And then a new story arc, Skin Trade with Dr. Midnight. Looks like here is about to be operated on. Not good. There you go, new story arc, Hawkman. Hawkman again. The JLA classified has become a lot smaller at the top, so you'd be mistaken for thinking this was a Hawkman comic book. But it's a JSA classified. And then story moves on to Midnight, Dr. Midnight again. Like a vampire there. Green Lantern, the original is still the best. Wildcat again. And there he is once more. Ted Grant, I think his name is. Ted Grant, pretty sure he's Wildcat's alter ego. Heavyweight boxing champion at one time. Jakeem Thunder and the Thunderbolt. Being a superhero isn't easy. Especially when you've got no actual powers of your own, but you simply have a magic genie. I think I'd want some kind of extra devices. Mr. Terrific, enter Mr. Horrific. Yeah. Mr. Terrific into the storm. Mr. Terrific once again. Is that a take on the old, is it Flags of Iwo Jima or something like that? Isn't there a famous statue of soldiers planting a flag in the ground during a battle? Thanksgiving Terror. Solomon Grundy, I assume. Born on a Monday. The Ghost of Christmas Past. Vandal Savage, maybe? Does tend to get about, old Vandal Savage. Is that Jade he's got in his clutches, maybe? Our man, like sands through the hourglass. Who is that in the hourglass? I'm thinking it could be Liberty Bell. Can't really tell. Wildcat again. Breaking heads. As always. Taking out the trash. Wildcat versus Wildcat. And still undisputed heavyweight champ, Wildcat. But is it a good Wildcat or is it this strange bad Wildcat, whoever he is? And that was the all of the JSA classifieds, 39 issues. Sticking with the Justice Society though, we have a 6-issue series, JSA versus Cobra. The Cobra cult kind of thing. Is it Naga? Naga means snake in Indian, I think. They believe that their leader is reincarnated. It's kind of like an evil Dalai Lama in a way. They have undying loyalty to him and will even to the point of letting themselves get killed if it's Cobra's will. There we go. Now we have JSA in Blackest Night, when the dead superheroes were given Black Lantern rings to try and quash life from the universe. So I'm not too sure who these Black Lanterns are in this, but you can see Green Lantern and Liberty Bell there, looking very much... Is that Sandy? Sandman's protege at the top there. Is that Johnny Quick, maybe? Is Johnny Quick dead in this? He's going up against Flash, so it could well be. Couldn't tell you who the other Black Lanterns are in this picture, though. And yes, all I can say in every one of those pictures, the good guys are looking very, very troubled. Very troubled indeed. And every single one of them. They are on the receiving end of some pretty bad beatings there. Justice Society of America, not looking good. Alright, we've got a few one-shots here. Faces of Evil. Deathstroke one-shot from March 2009. Prometheus one-shot. Came out the same month. And Cobra, who we were just talking about there. Is that all of the one-shots of Faces of Evil? I've got a feeling there's a few more of those actually, but I've only got 3 in this particular pile from what I can see. Okay, I'm still on that first pile of comics from the 3 piles that I showed you. We've got more Justice Society of America. Another one from 2007, another run. Some interesting cover art. I'm not sure who this is meant to be. Or this one. get a feeling she was some kind of witch woman, though. I got a vague feeling. But yeah. This is Wildcat and Wildcat's son or something. He was like a were person. I'm sure it was his son. I'm not quite sure what the cause of that was. And we have, I think he's now called Sandman, but he was Sandy, Sandman's protege, who took over. Spent a long time trapped in some device because he had some silicon powers or something that went a bit crazy. Now, is that Atom Smasher or is that Damage? I think that's Atom Smasher. Commander Steel, or is it just Steel in this run? I'm not sure. Liberty Bell. Power Girl. I'm never too sure what Power Girl's association is with the Justice Society of America, actually. Is she actually associated with them? She just seems to turn up every now and again in their comics. Maybe it's just, I don't think she's like any kind of legacy hero or anything like that. I don't know, maybe there was a Power Girl back in the day as well, I'm not too sure. Superman. I think originally Superman was in the Justice Society of America, but when it got retconned, yeah, he was no longer. It's an interesting picture. Not too sure who all those are. I think that's Mr. America in the middle with the whip. I think his name was Mr. America. Not too sure. That Jakeem Thunder, I'm assuming, right at the front there. The guy with the weird triangle on his arm and that weapon, he looks familiar. Oh, can't remember. I'm not too sure who all those people are. There you go, got a couple of Supermen there. I'm assuming Earth 2 Superman and our Earth Superman. That lady from earlier on, I pointed out, her name was Cyclone. She had wind powers, not witch powers. So I was wrong. Oh, and he's not Commander Steel or Steel, he's called Citizen Steel. Just about to see him there at the bottom. There he is. Okay, more Justice Society of America. Looks like the aftermath of a big battle. They're not looking too happy though. Maybe they're just worn out. See that guy there with the beam weapon? I was thinking about this guy. Is that from, I can't remember the name of that storyline now. Was it Gog Magog or something like that? Is he Gog and he's Magog? I'm not too sure. I'm sure it's somehow tied into that, but I can't remember the name of the blinking story that those guys were in. It was like an alternate Earth story, wasn't it? The the heroes were a lot more gritty and a lot more people were being killed, and they were a lot less controlled with how they used their powers. I can't remember the name of the storyline now, but I'm pretty sure that's Magog. I think that's Magog. Okay, we've got a Justice Society America annual from this run. There's that fella again, I think he's called Magog. Because Gog and Magog were like, I think they were giants. I got a feeling they were giants from history, like from mythology or something like that. Justice Society of America versus Justice Society Infinity. Interesting. Right. Kingdom Come Special. That was the name of that story I was trying to think of with Gog Magog. Kingdom Come, wasn't it? It was called. Right. Justice Society of Kingdom Come Special Superman. A one-shot. And then we have Kingdom Come Special Magog. At least I remembered his name anyway. That's gratifying that I remembered that. Kingdom Come Special, The Kingdom. I think this is after the Kingdom Come story that I know. I think this is like a re-emergence of it somehow. I'm not too quite remember off the top of my head. And then we got Justice Society of America number 21. I think it might be the last. Looking at the next ones in the pile, it seems to be different comics. I think that's the last of that Justice Society of America. And I've put in the Kingdom Come specials as well, because I'm assuming the story must have naturally progressed into that. Alright, now this one I can't say I recall particularly. DC Universe Legacies. The Golden Age of Heroism begins. Len Wein, is that how you pronounce that guy? He's done loads of comics. Oh, the Kuberts, Andy and Joe Kubert, and there's one of, because there was a father, wasn't there? And wasn't there two sons, Kuberts, to do art, or is one of them father, one of the sons? I can't remember. I know they've done a heck of a lot of art. Very well renowned artists in the field, the Kuberts. The Seven Soldiers of Victory Ride again. The end of the Golden Age of Heroism. So is this legacies? Is this a historical rundown through the ages? Because now we have the Silver Ages here. Maybe this is what this book is exploring. Then the next generation has arrived. We start off with the Justice League of America, who took over from the Justice Society, and then we have like the Teen Titans and the young proteges finding their own way. And then we move on to Legacy's Crisis. Maybe this is explaining again how the Earths, the separate Earths, become one Earth, or maybe that's when they're splitting back again. Not too sure. Crisis Aftermath. They fit in together, those ones. Let me just, oopsie daisy, drop it on the table. Let me put these together so you get the idea of the full picture. There we go. That's some nice little splash there. There's an old school cyborg there, with looking like the old cyborg before he got all his apocalyptic powers that he, and technology that he's got now. Moving on, Doomsday has come. Yeah, so it's going on historical timeline, isn't it? So after we had the Crisis, Doomsday, and the death of Superman for a time. Yeah, the new wave, the reign of the Supermen who came after he died, and after Nightfall, when the Brat was broken, we had John Paul Valley, was it? Who used to be Azrael, taking over for Batman for a while. And in the back we can see Green Lantern Hal Jordan after he lost his mind and became Parallax. Yeah, and then moving on with the legacy. Parallax dies and comes back as Spectre, the new spirit of vengeance. But I remember, actually, he wasn't just the spirit of vengeance. He tried to change it up, didn't he? He became the spirit of redemption, wasn't it? And he redeemed himself through being the Spectre and helping people to redeem their bad ways, kind of thing. And then we're back again, all the way full circle. The modern age of heroism reborn. So Hal is back to being Green Lantern. I don't know if that's which Flash version that is. Whether that, because Flash came back to life around this time as well. Then he Barry Allen's. That's probably the original Barry Allen. And then we had the Spectre, Crispus Allen, the police detective who died and became the new Spectre when Hal Jordan came back to life again. And of course we've got Zatanna, who is the daughter of Zatara, who was a very old sorcerer hero back in the day. And then we have the Black Canary there, the bottom right, who again, her mother was a superhero back in the JSA times. And then from the Justice Society of America, Magog is here. Cool covers. It's a very cool cover, this one. Very gritty. Chaotic almost, all those faces and... yeah, interesting. Miasma. Magog must die. Family Feud. Magog versus the JSA. Glenn Fabry cover. Magog and the Magic of Zatanna. Magog, shields up. Now, who is that she's fighting? Is it Shield? Because there was a guy called Shield at one point, wasn't he? Who came over. Yeah, I think it must be that guy, Shield. I can't remember what company it was originally in, but then DC brought out a little range of these new heroes they brought over from another old comic company, and they brought out a little range of them. The Black Hood, I think one of them was called. I can't remember the name of the other ones. I'm pretty sure this Shield was one of them as well, if that is Shield. And there was a few others as well. They were kind of like based more for children, but they weren't bad. For younger children, they were quite enjoyable though. Can't remember the other ones. I got a feeling there was an insect-based guy as well. Magog again, fighting Flash. Kingdom Coming. Right, so I was thinking it's NIL8, but it's NIL8. Annihilate? Yes, very clever. I just lost the... I had a bit of a mare of my video in today. First of all, I ran out of battery, and then I ran out of room on the card. So hopefully I've not accidentally deleted anything when I had to clear some other stuff out. Still got loads more in that first pile. So here we go, the Justice Society Divided. JSA All-Stars. From 2010. Don't recognise half of those guys. There's Magog. Can't work if that could be Damage. I'm not sure if that's Damage or if that's... It doesn't look like an Amp Smasher. It's different colours. There's that Cyclone that we looked at before. There's an Hour Man. I don't know who that is at the top there. Is that Zatanna wearing different clothing? Liberty Bell and Hour Man in a separate feature. Nice Lovecraftian looking demon there with eyeballs and tentacles. Starstruck. So these have all got second feature, Liberty Bell and Hour Man. I used to like that, kind of having two stories in one comic. Actually, it was quite cool. And here we go. More Lovecraftian menaces, tentacles and teeth. No tongues in this one, though. Tentacles and teeth. It's like a Sarlacc pit with arms. Sorrow the Conqueror. That was that guy that I said was called Johnny Tomorrow. Johnny Sorrow, I think his name was. Johnny Sorrow. Or it could have just been Mr. Sorrow, I don't really remember now. It was Damage. And, yeah, damage has been done to Damage in that picture. Fatal damage by the looks of it. Oh, no. That is... I think it's a relative of Zatanna's that we hadn't seen before. Like, yeah... Sure, it's another magician from the same family with the backwards spells stuff. And that's Atom Smasher. Or whether it's just called Atom now, I'm not sure. Looks like they're fighting some Egyptian gods here. Whom gods destroy. JSA All-Stars, torn asunder. Winds of War. a cyclone. Looks like she's facing off against some other cyclones. And there's a little flying chimp there from the Wizard of Oz. I'm guessing. There's another Lou lady here. I don't know who she is. Is that maybe Kung Fu Master or something like that? That lady there. I don't know. It rings a bell for some reason. Menace of the Puzzle Men. Justice from Above. Is that the Flying Dutchman? Ghost Boat in the Sky. The Return of the Prince. There we go, more JSA All-Stars. I don't know if that's the last one of the series. Seems to have, I'm not too sure what's going on. Let me just get to the next packet of comics and I'll work it out. We seem to be back with Justice Society of America again. That last one I thought finished at 21, because that was the last one in that little run. It seems they were just mixed up in the pile with other ones, because of that continues now, that Justice Society of America run from 2009. Oh, then we've got Faces of Evil again. Black Adam. Origins of Omens of Justice Society of America. This is when Mary Marvel becomes bad, isn't it? She goes bad. Nice team shot. There's a pair of eyes there. Who is that? Is that? Oh, no, maybe it's just meant to look like a pair of. Maybe it's wing pattern, but it does look like a pair of eyes spying on them. Blackout. Is that Obsidian or the Shadow Thief? Maybe. Whiteout. Just to follow Blackout. Justice Society of America. New members, new threats. Fate steps in. It's Eclipso. At the bottom there. Is that Major... Is that the one who was a villain for Captain Atom? Major something or other. Major damage or major... It's not major disaster. Sure it's called Major something or other. And then Polaris. That could be the Huntress at the back there. I'm not too sure. Tigress maybe. That looks like Stargirl, but it's not. It's got a moon and a star. A crescent and a star on her. So I'm assuming she's a villain with the company she's keeping there. The Wrath of Magog. That doesn't look good. Looks like Dr. Midnight's pulling a shroud over Mr. Terrific. And then we've got an 80-page giant here. Justice Society of America, 80-page giant. The seven fateful tales of the JSA by today's top talent. Do you dare enter the mansion of mystery? Right, finally come to the very last little pile of comics in that massive first pile. We've still got two little piles to go. More Justice Society of America. It was obviously the Justice Society of America pile. We've got Divided We Stand, I suppose. Divided We Fall, isn't it? United We Stand, Divided We Fall. And these two look interesting. Fate Steps Out. And the next issue, Mordru in Their Midst. But they do definitely look like they belong side by side. That's a pretty cool picture, that one. I probably never even realised at the time that they were like that, because I didn't sort of, you buy month by month, you don't necessarily see them back to back or side by side like that. Here we've got Justice Society Annual number 2, featuring JSA All Stars. Maybe that's the split. Maybe they were both running side by side, these comics. I'm not too sure now. Wars of Remembrance, Justice Society of America. These maybe I should go side to side. They've definitely got that look of they kind of belong side by side. But you see, Justice Society of America, the good guys are underneath the Nazi flag, and on this comic here, the bad guys are underneath the American flag. Not too sure who this cast of characters are. T-Day. The war to end all wars. Brightest Day, Justice Society America, guest star in the Justice League. Brightest Day continues. Again, Justice League are in there, helping out. More Brightest Day. Is Obsidian there? Green Lantern's son, looking a bit worse for wear. Bit sinister. And we've got another Justice Society of America special, a one shot. Got to make sure I don't miss all these when it comes to marking them down. Kingdom Coming Conclusion. Hold on a second, that looks very familiar. It's got the same writing as one of the other ones I looked at a second ago. Is it exactly the same? I know, it's just similar. 7 Tales of the JSA by today's top talent. It's another one-shot, 80-page giant from 2010. The last one was from 2010 as well, though. But it was from January 2010. 2 Wildcats, oh yeah. And Jesse Quick. Okay, number 44, the Society of Tomorrow Today. Who's that? Rum-looking cove there. Some nice crisp white backgrounds of the heroes popping off. Still don't know who that is. Is that a new Thunderbolt maybe? Seems to be the same character there at the front. Looks a bit like a Thunderbolt, doesn't it? Wow. Is that good? The Light of the Living Lantern. That is a... Sorry and all that. That's not a very good looking pic. It's not a very good looking costume. It looks pretty rubbish as costumes go, I've got to say. He looks a bit daft, that does. Number 50. Extra sized anniversary issue. Number 51 is Lightning. Dr. Fate fights for the soul of Lightning. And then we've got another 80-page giant. One shot, 2011. And the very last comic in that pile, number 52 of Justice Society of America. Dr. Midnight in the City of Evil. And that is the whole of that massive pile. It's taken me ages to go through. And I've still got 2 fairly good-sized piles of comics to go. So let me carry on with that. Well, I think I've got these piles out of order, but it doesn't really make a difference as long as you get to see all the comics that are in it, basically. So we have some Swamp Things to start off. I'm not sure I'm going to take it from the right side. So we've got DC Vertigo, number 148. I'm pretty sure these are just some random issues that I've got. I don't think these are, I've got a good run in this one. Here's one from 93, rather crumpled actually. I don't know, looking crumpled, if that's just the look of it. I think it is, no, it is just rather crumpled. Little cover there. I don't know where I got it from. Number 93, suggested for mature readers from 1990. Number 87. Just a few random old Swamp Things, to be honest. I don't remember buying these or whether I picked these out. There's an Alan Moore one. Number 41. Number 42, Alan Moore again. And number 44, another Alan Moore one. I've got most of the Alan Moore, all of the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run in graphic novels, in collected books. So I'm not too sure where these random ones came from. Picked them up from somewhere, obviously. A little bit of a corner problem there. Alright, now here we have a much more modern, well, it's still 18 years ago now, 2000 this is, but more modern than that little batch of Swamp Things that you just saw there. A Swamp Thing's daughter, I believe, isn't it? Swamp Thing and, what's her name? Arcane? Something Arcane? Swamp Thing's partner? I'm assuming that's still her. I can't remember what his daughter's called. Some clever pun on to do with plant life, I'm sure, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm assuming that's her because she's got a knife in her back. It doesn't seem to be worried about it at all. She's quite immortal, I think. She can go into the green. She's got plant-like powers. Can't remember what her name is though. Can't remember what her mother's name is either. Something Arcane, definitely something Arcane, but I can't remember what her first name is. It's Vertigo books as well, Vertigo. Quite some freaky looking covers there. Oh, I've just done those out of order, I think. Let me just start that again. So there's number 4, 5. Some freaky looking covers there. 6, 7, and 8. They're all looking like fever dreams, aren't they? They're looking like someone's been at the. Remember, there's one of the classic Swamp Things where they eat a tuber that he comes off of. He grows out of himself basically, and it's like a psychedelic one, and they all have like this wonderful trip. These covers look like everyone's having a trip on them. 9. Same cover artist. I'm not sure who it is though. Can't see a name on the cover there. There we go. Who is that blonde-haired man in the trench coat smoking a cigarette at the back there? That's Glenn Fabry cover. Does some damn fine art. Fabry again. She's not looking very happy there, is she? Red Harvest Part 2. The Stockholm Syndrome. "13. Carrying Capacity, Red Harvest Part 3. 4. Part 4, comic 14 though. Back to the freaky looking covers. Suggested for mature readers. And then Red Harvest Part 6, A Woman in Green. Red Harvest Conclusion, Topiary. Trim the bush. Swamp Thing meets his daughter again, by the looks of it. Looks like a slightly stressed meeting there. Tense, I would say. A tense meeting. Still can't remember what her name is, though. It's definitely like a play on like a, I don't know, sprout or something like that. It's definitely some kind of plant-related name. Let's see if I can just see it on the cover of this book that I'm looking at. Okay, I just had a look and I was completely wrong. At least I don't think it's any kind of like a pun on swamp or plants. Her name's Tefe. Unless that's a foreign language with something to do with plants, I'm not sure. Tefe Holland, I think her name is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite know what that means. So that last Swamp Thing finished in December 2001 on issue 20, and then we've got another Vertigo title, number 1, Swamp Thing from 2004. Earth's Elemental returns to his roots. Some fairly gruesome looking covers. Story, I'm assuming, by Andy Diggle. And I suppose that Enrica Breccia must be doing the art. Is that Tefe there? His daughter, is that Alec Holland's daughter there? She's looking quite punk with a t-shirt that looks like it says Psycho Bitch. And she seems to be covered in blood. Okay. Swamp Thing looking angry, and his hands look like they're bloody as well. And some Lovecraftian looking creatures at the bottom there. And Swamp Thing's fighting some kind of demon thing there. I'm not sure who the guy at the front is. Oh, that could be Arcane, because right. So his girlfriend, his partner, I don't know if they were ever married, his wife, whatever, her surname was Arcane, and her father was Swamp Thing's enemy, wasn't he? And I think that could be him there in the middle, because he died, went to hell, and I think this could be the storyline where from hell he's sending demons or something, or he somehow gets in with the demons to go and try and fight Swamp Thing. I think that could be that storyline. Swamp Thing again. Interesting stuff there. Looking at that, I'm thinking, I wonder if that's a Fabry cover again. I'm not too sure. Can't see a signature anywhere. It's got, I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of his style. He finds a smile filled with innocence, and it terrifies him. An interesting statement on the front of that interesting looking cover. Looks like the story has been taken over by Joshua Dysart. Can't say rings any bells. Is that Constantine maybe there? He's not wearing a trench coat, but he's got that, the way Swamp Thing's looking at him. And the cockiness of the blonde character there could be, but he hasn't got a fag in his mouth. But you know, it still could be. There is Swamp Thing, and that's his. It looks like his partner, something Arcane. What is her name? I know. I'm pretty sure her surname is Arcane, but I can't remember what her first name is for the life of me. But she's got white hair with black streaks in it, so it's definitely her. But is it though? Because there's a tentacle leading from the back of her head. So is that like a lure? Like, is that like some of these creatures of the deep have like the anglerfish has a little bright lure to make other fishes swim into its mouth. I wonder if that's just an enticement to get Swamp Thing to come and grab her in a loving embrace than to be taken up by the monster and eaten. Who knows? Swamp Thing there. Looks like he's causing nightmares of his own. Seems to have gone out of order there. It's number 13, 14, 15. I've seemed to have pulled them from the pile in the wrong order in these ones. So we're going backwards on ourselves. So there's 12. 11. Yeah, I started from the wrong side of the little packet of... Because what I do, I put a few books into one plastic cover rather than individually wrapping them, because I'm a tight wad. So, but I picked them from the wrong side when I started showing you these ones. You've seen them all, but you just saw them in reverse order there. Alright, try not to make that mistake again. Make sure I take it from the right side of the package. Number 17. I awoke to the critical gospel of unrelenting corporate truth. Okay. The Holland Mind. Of course, Alec Holland is the Swamp Thing. Or at least Alec Holland's consciousness is inside the plant life, which makes up the Swamp Thing. Some fairly trippy stuff going on in this run of books, I think. The Bleeding. Oh, isn't the Bleeding something to do with the green, isn't it? The green is like plant life. Is the Bleeding not the I don't know, the focus point or whatever, or the nexus or something of animal life or something? I can't remember. I'm sure there's a... It's the animal equivalent of the green, the Bleeding, I think. Right, I believe... No, we've got a couple more to go, actually. So I thought that was the last one of this run of Swamp Thing for a minute, but it's not. There he is, fighting some nastiness. Right, I believe this is the last run of these Swamp Thing books. There you are. That's his partner. Something or other Arcane. Abigail Arcane, I think her name is. And that creature there looks like a deep one from Lovecraftian sort of thing, but it's a slightly different looking deep one. But yeah, it's just got that... It has the Innsmouth look. With a slightly larger mouth though. There we go. The Prison Tree, Chapter 1. I'm assuming that's Chapter 2. Following on, doesn't say on it though, unless it crossed over into another book. And I think this is the last one of this run of Swamp Things. Farewell to Swamp Thing, number 29. Swamp Thing trudging back into the swamp there, disappearing behind the bayou trees. Right, the rest of this second pile of books seems to be Hellblazers. Now I'm pretty sure I've got a full long box of Hellblazers, and these were the ones that I think I filled up a long box and then started again, put them on my shelf. Just make sure I get these in the right order if I can. So 207. I didn't start with the very first Hellblazer, I've got to say. I know I didn't have the first ones. The first couple of lots of Hellblazer I got from graphic novels, collected works, whatever you'd call it. But I did start, I don't know if it's in the teens maybe. I seem to be going all over the shop here. No, am I getting this right way around? Yeah, that was 207, yeah, 208, 209. 210. So 2005. Am I going? No, there are more to go. So I think I wasn't sure if I was at the end of a run or this is the beginning of this set. But say all the others are in a long box somewhere. So I think the rest of this pile is Hellblazers up to the end of the run before I think it kicked off again with a new 52, didn't it? I think it was a new 52. It kicked off as it became less of a Vertigo title, no longer a Vertigo title, and kind of entered the mainstream of DC world, didn't he? Becoming much more of a overt magic user rather than being in the background of DC Comics, coming out and dealing with demonic and supernatural stuff, like on the periphery of the heroes, like keeping away completely from heroes. He sort of joined crossed over completely into the world of superheroes wearing tights and stuff. 215. $216. $217. $218. Right, a slight interruption to the Hellblazers here. We've got that Sandman Mystery Theatre Sleep of Reason. I think that came out as an individual, a small little 5-parter. Came out after the Sandman Mystery Theatre run of books, and it's like the last story of the original Sandman before he died. And yeah, obviously it didn't go in the box of the other ones. Now this is annoying. I seem to have one of them missing. That's very annoying. How did that happen? 1, 2, 3, and 5. I've got one missing. That is extremely annoying. You might have seen my video recently where I did a random buy of some comics, and one of these Sandman Mystery Theatres was in that, but it was his second one. I think it was his second one. I would say it would have been nice if it had been the fourth one that I was missing. That would have been very serendipitous, but unfortunately that was not the case. Okay, resuming the Hellblazers. Some dark and twisted looking covers. As you'd expect, you don't expect the bright colours that you get on the superhero title. Hellblazer, John Constantine was all about the darkness and, yeah, very dark side of the DC world. Smoking cigarettes and skulls. Smoking a fag, lots of dead bodies. You'll see a theme. I'm detecting a theme on John Constantine's covers. He's smoking a fag and there's something untoward going on. That one, his cigarette smoke appears to be forming or coalescing into the shape of a ghost or something. This one, he's not smoking a fag, but he is tied into some kind of weird looking machine. It's possibly a lung. Is that a lung that he's tied into there? Is that indicative of him smoking? Or is that a heart maybe? I don't know. And here is the same looking organ, a flame. Is he lighting a fag off of it? Not too sure, but it looks like religious people from around the world are surrounding him. Not sure whether to worship that artifact, whatever it is that he's got in his hand. Covers that make you go, that's one of them. Not quite sure what's going on there. But yeah, that sounds some kind of Siamese twin that he's kissing there. I'm not really too sure. He's smoking a fag. It's forming some kind of hex pattern as he breathes out the smoke. Here he's not smoking a fag. He's in at the deep end. Is that the follow on from that one? 230, 231, yeah. There's part 2, so I'm assuming that must be part 1, the first one there. You see, he can't smoke a fag because he's underwater. But his fags are floating off into the distance. His fags that he can't smoke are floating off. Some interesting stuff going on there. It's like many John Constantines, all smoking fags and rolling some dice. Gambling. That's the Andy Diggle. Didn't we see him in the swamp thing a minute ago? Hold on a second. Have I got 2 of the same one? I've got 2 of the same one. But they're different. They're the same, but they're different. They've got different... Maybe they were different prints or something. Maybe there's a first print and a second print or something. Different coloured... yeah. Rather redundant. It's walking the dog that appears to be taking a leak on a dead body. Whether it's a zombie emerging from the ground or what, I'm not too sure. Okay, here he is sleeping with some skulls but not smoking. There he is in the cigarette smoke, with smoking warnings on the back in the background. He doesn't even make the cover of this one. A Glenn Fabry cover. Something to do with African warlords, maybe. Memory serves. I mean, it's possible. Doesn't ring a bell, actually. The Laughing Magician, Part 1. The Laughing Magician Part 2. And Part 3. Well, we've got a little break again in our little run of Hellblazers. We have Hellblazer, but well, it's Chaz, his mate Chaz, the taxi driver. Hellblazer presents Chaz, the Knowledge, Part 1 of 5. Part 2. Three. I think Chaz was in his band that he used to be in, John Constantine's band. Or was it? Oh, don't tell me. You can't tell me probably because it's on a video. But you know what I mean. The Mucous Membranes, I think, was the name of John Constantine's punk band, if I recall. I think he was the front man, singer. I get a feeling Chaz might have been the drummer because or maybe he was just a roadie. I can't remember. But yeah, I think he was in the band. I think the other members of the band all got killed some way or another, didn't they? Over the years, didn't they dabble with magic alongside John Constantine and got chewed up fighting his enemies at some point, probably. That's what normally happens with him. Alright, return to normality of, well, as normal as Hellblazer gets. So basically get back on the Hellblazers. We've moved away from the Chaz one and onto Hellblazer. Back to the Hellblazer, should I say. There we are, that's him. I mean, his punk band. With antisocial bastards and X-rated brains, is that? Yeah, mucous membrane, there we go. Mucous membrane. Is one of those Chaz? Not too sure. I think one of the guys was one that he ended up having to sort of infested with a hunger demon right at the beginning of the comics. I'm pretty sure that was one of the guys that was in his band. Can't remember what his name was though. Alright, now we've got a nice giant-sized John Constantine Hellblazer number 250. I'm assuming it's made up of a few different stories because we've got quite a range of people getting involved there, different writers and artist teams. China Melville, isn't he the guy who writes science fiction books? Pretty sure he's a renowned sci-fi writer. Scab. Gotta say, some dark covers again. What on earth is happening with the sky there? Me, it was a smoke making half his face look like a skull in that picture. I think that's probably the effect they were going for. Some different looking covers now, changing style. Something vampiric, maybe. The Cottage. Oh, is that a Simon Beasley cover? Beasley again. John's seen better days in that one. He's taken a bit of a pounding. And he's gone to India. India Part 1. Can't see the 261 there, it is in the right order. I believe that's Kali. Beasley covers, I believe. Beasley? That's how you like. Alright. Looks like he's going to his punk era again there. No future. There's no future for me, or something like that. I'm assuming that's John in his punk days. Destroy! Section Part 1. Does he go back into the Ravenscroft? Is it Ravencroft, the name of the same asylum that he was in? Now, it's quite weird because if you remember an early I think it was actually in Swamp Thing, where the Invulge kills the nun in Mornington Crescent train station. Just round the corner from Mornington Crescent train station, roundabout, it's near Camden, there's like a block of flats, and it's called Ravenholm or Ravenscroft, the same name as the insane asylum that he's in the comic books. So I'm wondering if whoever wrote those early issues, Alan Moore, I'm assuming, if it was in Swamp Thing, wasn't it? then I'm wondering if he used to, I don't know, if he was ever around that area of Mornington Crescent and saw the name of the block of flats and maybe took some influence from it, who knows. Of course, it's equally likely, I'm just remembering it wrong, but definitely round the corner from Mornington Crescent train station there's a block of flats. It's either called Ravenloft or Ravenscroft, but I was thinking now that the lunatic asylum it might have been called Raven's Scar, so maybe it's just a coincidence that I misread. Maybe. Some cool covers. I think this might be his niece. So I'm pretty sure his sister has a daughter who ends up getting involved with magic as well later on. Strange goings on. He's wearing a Clash t-shirt there. The Royal Wedding of the Century. I don't know how Simon Bisley gets his signature in certain places. A couple of times he's done it on a packet of fags. You see he's got them there, Biz. He was got it on the side of the cake. $2.76. Smoke appears to be forming a dollar sign. Alright. Ooh, looks like he's about to chop that bloke's thumb off. That's pretty hardcore, John. Phantom Pains. Oh. And there he's doing something weird with the thumb as well. Is he welding that thumb onto his hand? I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Here looks like he's running from some kind of, I don't know, Mesopotamian ancient entity or something. Who knows? This is from 2011, these ones. Okay, right towards the end of though, that seems to be the end of the Hellblazers actually. Well, there's some Hellblazers. Hellblazer 59, randomly on its own there, back when Garth Ennis was writing it. Hellblazer 58, Garth Ennis again, Steve Dillon. Great partnership on that comic they were. 55. $40. I don't know if these are additional to the ones that I know I've got in the long box somewhere, or maybe I bought these ones. Maybe these were before I started collecting them. I can't remember when I first started collecting them. But say as I go through more books, more boxes upstairs and that will become apparent. Right, and the last thing from this pile, which is mainly Hellblazers, we've got something called City of Demons, which is a 5-parter, which I only seem to have 4 parts of again. That's annoying. Starts with part 2 of 5. Then we have part 3 of 5. God, don't you just hate you when that happens? Part 4 of 5. And part 5 of 5. Now I'm assuming that Hellblazer 280 must have been the end of the run then, was it? Let me just see what it says at the end of that book. If it gives me any information about to be continued in June in Brightest Day Aftermath, the search for Swamp Thing. So there you go. That number 280 was the last of the Hellblazers, and then they relaunched it as a new 52 or something like that later on. Right, now the last of the 3 piles that I brought out from my middle shelf, was it today? Top shelf? I can't remember. Right, seems to be Detective Comics. So we have some Detective Comic annuals. All New Annual 1989. Number 3 from 1990. Number 4, Armageddon 2001. That's when Rave Rider come back and looked into the possible futures of characters. Number 5, Eclipso, The Darkness Within. Sticking with the annuals, I seem to have annual 6 missing, which is a shame. We've got Elseworlds Annual 7 from 94. Year 1, Detective Comics number 8. Detective Comics Annual 1996, Legends of the Dead Earth. I think that might have been a futuristic Batman or Elseworlds kind of thing. And then we've got Pulp Heroes year from 1997, and we've got the 10th annual. Shame that number 6 is missing. Rather annoying. Right, from the amount of Detective Comics that I have here, I'm assuming that I may have another box of them upstairs, because this is 2003, number 781, and I'm pretty sure I was collecting them from long before then, Batman Detective Comics. So 781, they're 15 years old now though, blimey. Wow. Death and the Maidens. There's an additional story in that one by the looks of it. Brubaker's doing the main story on these ones. Some interesting art covers. '787, Through the Looking Glass, The Mad Hatter by the looks of it. These are quite thick books actually. They've got an extra story at the end of them as well. This one plus Dog Catcher. Can't say I remember a character called Dog Catcher. 788. This one's got a funky little flip out cover by the looks of it. Oh, it's just an advert. But the front cover is smaller than your usual cover. It's a bit annoying. It's annoying that it's only done for the sake of an advert. If it was done for the sake of a nice picture, it would have been cool, but it's not. And the backstory in these ones is now called The Tailor. I get the feeling that might be about a person who makes suits for supers. I get the feeling, I don't know why. Can't Get You Out of My Head. That's got to be Mr. Freeze, isn't it? Some interesting covers on some of these ones, actually. Not what you'd expect. It's not so, I don't know, they're weird rather than gripping. You'd think they'd be more like four-colour excitement and trepidation and peril and danger and adventure to get the kids in. But I suppose maybe nowadays the kids aren't so interested in comics. It's more big kids like us adults who are buying them. Tarantula. She was a bit of a villain. I think she was a vigilante, but a bit deadly of a vigilante. So she kind of like Batman didn't approve of her methods. Batman and Robin together again. It's a blonde female Robin. I wonder who she is. That's not spoiler. I wonder who Trickster's daughter is it? Maybe it is. I can't remember her name. It was I think the Cassandra Cain, that's the Batgirl, isn't it? Batwoman, well no, Batgirl she was. So what was the name of the spoiler? Cassie, I'm sure her name was Cassie or something. No, it's too similar to Cassandra, isn't it? I can't remember now. 799. Act 3, 1 of 8. Is that crossing over or is that only in these books? $7.99. There is 800 special extra sized 800th issue. Gabrick is the name of the writer on that one. Can't say that name rings any bells. And then we have 801, another creative team. Lapham, again doesn't ring any bells. The background story is The Barker. There's in The Barker someone who works in a carnival calling over to get people's attention. The Talons of Crime. There we have the old Oswald Cobblepot. And here we have Mr. Freeze. City of Crime plus Mud is the backup story in this one. 806. 2005 these are from. $2.99 the US price. Not sure what that equated to in British pounds. Quite expensive though, if I recall. New backup story starting, The Beast Beneath. And then we have Scarface, the puppet, the ventriloquist dummy. Oh dear. Robin does not look to be in a good way there. War Crimes Part 3. Is that the one where the new Robin implemented one of Batman's crazy gang war crimes and hoping to impress him by sorting it out, and it all goes completely pear-shaped? Was that what War Crimes was? Don't know what's going on with Batman there. City of Crime is still coming up. City of Crime again. Gotham's always been a city of crime. That's why Batman calls it home. A new storyline, Victims. Oh, is that Zaz there? He's got the tally marks on his arms for the victims that he's killed. Yeah, you can see it is. There he is there again with the tally marks on his arms. Each one representing a victim. 1 year later. It's an interesting little storyline that 1 year later was. It was quite cool. You suddenly were jumped ahead and you had to fill in the blanks and work out what happened in the 1 year period, and it would give you hints kind of thing. But quite often I don't think it really fleshed out the hints that it gave you. It was an interesting little experiment though. Batman looking dark. Batman in black and white is quite cool, I suppose. Would be a better way, good way to put it as any. Right, bit of a strange one. Suddenly go to another annual. Detective Comics Annual number 1. That was cool because it wasn't in the ones that I showed earlier, and this was from 1988. Maybe I've got annual number 6 somewhere in this pile as well. Soon find out. 823. Black and white again, mainly, but just a hint of green in the logo and in Poison Ivy's costume. It's quite cool. There's more black and white. Facing up against the Penguin, who was kind of black and white himself, isn't he? His black and white tuxedo and The Return of Dr. Phosphorus. And here we have Joker with Robin in the car. It's looking like quite a oldish Robin there. I wonder if it's that red Robin, or you know, when he's got a bit older. Okay, 827. 828. Batman brooding in the cave. Having a good old brood there after a hard day's work, I should think, or after a hard night's work. Robin's got himself in some kind of mess there. Batman's about to take down an evildoer, I suspect. Batman and Harley Quinn. Still maintaining the black and white covers here. Some kind of bat grenades or something? Smoke grenades he's got there? Or is it some kind of coil that he's trying to unravel? Some kind of electrical coil or something. And that looks like Zatanna looking at Batman in a crystal ball. Okay, from... have I got the year there? I can't see the year. 2007. Right. Now, things seem to be getting some more annuals again now. Let's have a quick look at these. I'm not sure if we carry on with Detective. We've got Batman Annual number 27, guest starring Azrael and Robin. That's from 2009. Oh, and we've got Batman Detective Comics Annual 11. There we go. Surely the Batman Detective Comics Annual should be a higher number than Batman Annual, because Batman Detective Comics is a hell of a lot older, isn't it? But I don't know, maybe they didn't start doing annuals for Detective Comics till later on. Hard to know, really. But that's cool. And the question there is Renee Montoya. I think Vic Sage died of cancer or something. And yeah, Montoya took over. Became the new question. But it seems to be little series now. So it must have been the end of the Detective Comics then. Maybe that was when the new 52 came in or something. I'm not too sure. We've got the Battle for the Cowl now. First of 3 from 2009. Did they follow on from Detective Comics? Not too sure. Got a few dudes here. I'm assuming are these one? Yeah. There we go. These run side by side. Let's get these in nicely if I can. 1, 2 and 3. No, don't do that. You naughty comics, you stay up. So we've got the usual Bat family there. We've got Wildcat. Is it Wildcat? I'm getting confused. I'm calling him Wildcat all day. I'm sure he's Wild. Yeah, he's Wildcat. Wildcat, Huntress, Nightwing, Black Canary, Batwoman, Catwoman, Robin. And then in the middle we've got Knight and Squire, Gordon, Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, Spoiler. Is that... I'm not too sure that is actually. It could be Katana actually. It could be Katana wearing a different face mask. For some reason I was thinking of Lady Shiva. Is it Lady Shiva? I'm not too sure though. Don't know why she would take over the cowl. Though maybe. Then we've got the villains: Riddler, Harley Quinn, Penguin, Two-Face. Who's that Batman with guns there? Could that be Flip? Oh, what's his name? Forget it. Scarecrow, Poison Ivy. Who's that dude who grew up with Batman and hated Batman and Hush. Could be Hush. Maybe. And who's the guy in the middle there of this? I don't know who that is. Not too sure. Anyway. Okay, a three-parter. Kevin Smith writing it. Batman Cacophony. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Okay, we seem to have a number of Battle for the Cowl one-shots here. Gotham Gazette. Batman alive? Is the question. And then we have The Network, featuring a few people I assume Batman has had, alliances with before. So Ragman, Manhunter, Batgirl and Huntress. The Underground, the slightly more sane of the Bat villains, Riddler, Two-Face and Penguin. Of course, yeah, when I say slightly more sane, there's obviously the other end of the spectrum with Joker. Arkham Asylum. What happens in Arkham Asylum if they think that Batman is dead? Do they all have a party? They try and escape and cause havoc? Man-Bat. Commissioner Gordon, of course, a very important character in the Batman mythos. Not sure when Commissioner Gordon first came about, actually, what his origin was. Was he one of the first backup characters, supporting characters in the Batman mythos? I'm not too sure. So there's Gotham Gazette again, Batman Dead. I think the first one was saying Batman Alive, wasn't it? Yeah, Batman Alive, Batman Dead. So the Batman Dead one comes before the Batman Alive one. Okay, it's a one shot. Dragon's Night. Batman in Barcelona. Barcelona, in case you was wondering what I said there. I'm putting on a particularly stupid accent. Nice architecture. Makes a change to all the gargoyles. Although it's kind of gargoyle-like. I think that's a cathedral or something there. Right, and I was incorrect there. There was not the end of the Batman Detective Comics, because we've come back to some more Batman Detective Comics. There was just a short hiatus while we went on with some mini-series and the like. Maybe that was the period when they thought Batman was dead and the Battle for the Cowl came on. I'm not too sure. Or it just happened, maybe they came out at that time. I don't know. But still carrying on with the black and white covers, though, I notice. It's quite a long old run of black and white covers, actually. I hadn't even realised how many there were. Here, this one is a countdown tie-in. And this one is part 3 of 7 of the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. So I'm assuming that crossed over with the rest of the Bat family books. And then we have part 7 of 7 of the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. There you go, getting away from the black and white. We've got a bit of red background there after the resurrection. And this one's all kinds of colours going on. It's like a Mad Hatter's Tea Party. It's exactly like a Mad Hatter's Tea Party, because I think that's what it is. You've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. You've got, I'm assuming that's the White Rabbit, although it looks kind of grey. There's a woman there with rabbit ears. The Mad Hatter, of course. Is that the walrus there? The Mock Turtle, maybe? I'm not sure the lizard. I'm not sure about the bird thing either. But definitely a bit of a Mad Hatter's Tea Party again on there. Looks like he's got the dormouse on his shoulder, maybe. And there we go. Dashing for the Stow. Scarface. A few different Scarfaces there. Oh, and there's a dummy. Oh, there's a dummy Batman as well. I didn't notice the dummy Batman. I don't know who the lady. Oh, is she the new ventriloquist? Because I think the original is it Alfred Wesker or something? Albert Wesker, I think the ventriloquist was. I think he gets killed, and maybe she's the new ventriloquist. I always like the ventriloquist. I know it's crazy as hell, daft as a brush, but there's something about the ventriloquist dummy, like possessing the person who's supposed to be doing the words for it, and who's making who talk. It's got a very kind of Twilight Zone theme on it. I think the Twilight Zone examined the ventriloquist dummy a couple of times during the run of the original series back in the late 50s, early 60s. And it's always been quite an evocative theme and quite scary as well. Something about ventriloquist dummies that are just scary as hell. Okay, we're in the midst of the Batman R.I.P. storyline. Following on from the last cover, Catwoman, I think Hush captured her and was going to do some nefarious operation on her or other. Batman saved her, but there's like Hush in the background there. Last rites, Nightwing looking sad. Last rites, faces of evil, Hush. It's taken over Detective Comics. Whatever happened to the Cape Crusader? 2 of 2. I'm not sure what the first part is. That's by Neil Gaiman. Art by Andy Kubert. Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair. So I'm not sure who did what. Batman Reborn. And it's Batwoman in Detective Comics. What's the name of that Batwoman? I've got a feeling she's... What is her name? Cassandra Cain was the Batgirl for a while, who was an assassin's daughter, wasn't he? She couldn't talk, first of all. She just... Yeah, I can't remember what this... I've got a feeling her surname is Cain as well for some reason. I can't remember though. Talking about making... Is it making a film with this Batwoman? Would be cool. And there's the question, of course, the new question of Renee Montoya. Didn't they have a romantic tie at some point? Am I getting confused? I'm sure they were romantically connected at one point, Batwoman and the question. I could be remembering wrong. Not too far off the end of the pile now. Batwoman is still in Detective Comics with the question backing up the book. And we're counting down years as well. First one a little while ago was 20 years ago, now 7 years ago, now 4 years ago. Maybe this is telling the origin of Batwoman. Of course, Batwoman was Barbara Gordon. But this is not Barbara Gordon. I can't really remember much about her story, to be honest. Because isn't she like the Earth 2 Batwoman? Isn't she got some follow on from her or something? I'm not too sure. Hold on, was it Batman for a second then? No, it's still Batwoman, Detective Comics. And then in it comes Batman. Batman is back, returning to Arkham Asylum. Looks a bit like... Whose art is that? Can I tell? I think it is a bit... For a second I thought it was a bit like Mignola, but I don't think it is. Madhouse. Arkham Asylum is definitely that. There you go. Okay, 2 more little batches of Detective Comics, and that's the end of that pile and the end of today's video. Whew, it's taken me some time to do it. We're in 2010 in these books. And I'm assuming we're coming towards the end of this run where they, I don't know, where they relook. I think they got rid of it, didn't they? The New 52, they started it again, didn't they? Because it was quite controversial that they decided to restart again from zero. I was quite annoyed with it, I must say. Right, and we have a Batman Detective Comics annual here, number 12, from February 2011. Don't know why it's in along with November 2010. Okay, the very last package of comics for this video. 870, December 2010. 871, The Black Mirror, Scott Snyder. He was quite new into it, wasn't he? I think at that time, I'm not too sure. 872, I think he's quite popular. I've just seen people posting around. I think Scott Snyder has become very appreciated amongst comic readers. Oh, Batman Incorporated, that's right. For a while he was making Batman in different countries, wasn't he? 875. This is, I think, when they brought in Jim Gordon's son, Jim, who ends up being a psychopath, doesn't he? A serial killing psychopath who's trying to kill his sister Barbara, or adopted sister, whatever she is. 876, Hungry City. And then the last two comics in this pile, number 877, advertising the awesome Green Lantern movie there. I'm going to have to look on the back of this book to see if it says this is the end of the run, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't say. Anyway, this is the last one off of that pile. The Villainy of Tiger Shark, number 878 from August 2011. And that is the last of my Batman Detective Comics. Alright, so that's the last one of that pile. I run out of card memory again, so I'm not sure if I got cut off in mid-sentence. But that's it. I'm assuming that's the end of Detective Comics before they went for like the New 52 or something like that. I'm not too sure exactly what happened, but that's what I've got there. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, looking at my comics. If you've got any comments, make them below in the box or on the blog. Yeah, thanks for watching, and it'd be cool to hear from you, and please subscribe. Cheers.